I have bought pieces thinking they were exactly what I wanted, only for a few days later to realize that something was off and I didn't really like them that much. There's so much to the cut, the silhouette, bottoms, the tone of a specific color that we often overlook when we're shopping, which just ends up creating this closet filled with things that are just empty options we usually don't go towards and that make getting dressed a way more frustrating process when it actually should just be fun. Your closet is precious real estate, so you know what's as useful as a wish list? A list with things to avoid. Disclaimer, all options in this video are exactly that, opinions. Take it with a grain of salt, and please don't be offended because there is no right or wrong taste, and you probably don't like half of what's in my closet either. This video is just meant to question your preferences and help you learn about your style regardless of whether you like the same version of an item as I do. So the first thing we're going to be talking about kind of hits me personally. This year was the first time I noticed a lot of specific items from specific stores being super viral. I fell into that rabbit hole for one item, but I did wait for it to sell out and then go to Vinted and Depop and search for it there, and I bought it secondhand, so I didn't give money directly to the fast fashion store. But it's this funnel neck jacket, and the first thing I want to talk about is actually not buying funnel neck jackets. Do I regret mine? No. But I know I was being childish and impulsive. The funnel neck jackets are basically just a trendier version of the Macintosh jackets that a lot of times, if you like remove the collar, you can bottom it and make it a funnel neck. And the thing with funnel neck specific jackets is oftentimes they don't even look that good when they're not buttoned to the top. And realistically, I don't feel like we in our day-to-day use our jackets buttoned up to the top that often. Whenever we just get a little hotter and we're moving, that whole thing just is not practical. So my first buy this would be going for a Macintosh jacket that you can try in real life and see if you can actually button it to the top, because the look will be the same, but it won't get out of style so quickly. It will be way more practical to use. Moving on, I love polka dots. I'm loving the polka dot trend, and I have tried very hard, watch me fail at this, to not really buy, and this is not that serious, okay? But it's just my opinion, to not buy polka dot items, or at least if I buy them, try to buy them in like versions of them that were from like 3, 4, 5 years ago, so that it's not like the ultimate polka dot size that is very trendy right now, which I feel like is this like big or chunkier polka dot, because I know it's very trendy and I love it, but it's also gonna go out of style, or like I'm just gonna get tired of it quicker mentally. So what I've been trying to do to feed my little desire is to buy polka dot accessories, because those I feel like can be way more versatile and survive the trendiness. So polka dot scarves, I thrifted one for literally $1 at a flea market, and I use it in my head. I use it as like a waist scarf. Polka dot bags, polka dot socks. Polka dot socks I feel like can give the same exact vibe to an outfit as maybe a polka dot t-shirt, without it being that big of a commitment to a trend. I realized when I was filming that video about how to shop the right basics for you and like your own closet of basics that I did a month ago, that I don't have basic normal jeans. And I realized that I think slightly off-white / cream jeans are so much cuter than white ones. And I think a lot of times when we want a pair of white jeans, we don't get as picky about the color as we should. So I just want you to look at both options and think about which one you like better. And I think, and maybe I'm just like making a huge deal out of like an insignificant thing, and maybe you won't relate, that there's gonna be one you like way more and you maybe don't even like the other one that much. But if you were shopping, you might have fallen for the version that you don't like that much. Personally, I think the cream off-white ones are way cooler looking, and I love seeing them paired with a white t-shirt. The contrast of the two shades of white to me is very cool and chic.
Moving on, I want to talk about usefulness, practicality, utility. I believe that 99% of the times when we buy something that's uncomfortable or doesn't really suit our lifestyle, if we just spend an extra few days searching for alternatives, we would get to the perfect product or version of the thing we have. An amazing heel that has a cushion sole so that it's not diabolically uncomfortable, or a tiny bag that is still tiny but can fit a phone and a wallet so that you don't have to carry a second bag around, a pair of headphones that can add to your aesthetic instead of subtracting it and making it look weird. So with that said, let me just talk about nothing for a quick second, because they are sponsoring this video, and truly They are the most stylish headphones I've ever seen. I think most headphones just look absolutely ugly. If I'm going to wear something as big in my head, I want it to add to the look, and these are everything but boring. So this is a bit embarrassing, but I haven't used wireless headphones for I think over 2 years now because I'm just too lazy to charge them and have that mental load in my head. These babies don't give you that problem because they can last up to 80 hours of playtime plus charge 5 hours of use in only 5 minutes.
This year, we've seen the trend of hard-earned clothing really pop off, adding tech, metals, and futuristic shapes to looks, and these headphones bring all of that together. I love the transparent case on the ear cups that shows all the engineering inside. It's so bold and super different from the usual models, but it still feels minimalistic and clean. I love to think that by simply listening to music, I'm already sort of accessorizing with these because they do feel like jewelry.
I also always have an issue with how comfortable headphones are. My ears start hurting usually after like an hour of use, but these are made with a focus on ergonomic fit to maximize comfort for all head shapes. Nothing is having the biggest sale with the lowest prices they've had the whole year. So if you're in need of a pair, I think this is the perfect time to purchase. And please do use my link so that they know you came through me because that really helps.
Now, cardigans have been the talk for the past 2 or 3 years, which is great. I love seeing something be super popular for a long time. It's very basic. We've always had cardigans, but there's like specific types of cardigans that now just, they're all over Pinterest. And I have bought 2 cardigans secondhand 2 years ago that now I realize I should have been pickier about because there were a lot of details when I was looking for a cardigan that I just didn't realize mattered that much. So if you're in a hunt for a cardigan, I'm going to tell you which one you should buy and which one you shouldn't. And if you disagree with me, you just have to invert the thought process. What matters is you know your preference. Number 1, I want a cardigan where the first button of it is like here. I don't want a big like cleavage or v-neck cardigan. That's not what I'm going for. Number 2, if the buttons in the cardigan are very small, I want the material of the cardigan to be thin. But if the buttons are very big, I want it to be thicker material, like this cardigan right here. I do not want balloonish silhouettes or balloonish sleeves, not in the slightest. I'm overall just looking for a straight cut. I have been loving straight cuts. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Actually, I thought I would have more to say about this, but I don't, so I'm not going to allocate it. I don't want to get into the whole consumerist conversation, guys. You guys know I try to only buy secondhand. I'm not perfect. I try to wait a month that I love something before I buy it because I think the dopamine that buying things gives us and gives me, I'm not immune to it, is so contradicted by then the stress of like having things in your closet you don't love and don't feel like 300% you. But the whole idea of like a new season starting and then there being must-haves for that season is so silly, and it really annoys me because you had the same seasons last year. They're not being invented. So you have clothes that you wore last year. And if you don't love your clothes from last year from that season, let's say fall, it's probably because you were buying them impulsively and they're not timeless enough to survive 2 seasons. And if you ask me, I think that's pretty ridiculous. And that happens to me as well. Our brains are so mysterious, and fashion, for those who are a little obsessed with it, can become a mental process of knowing yourself well enough and knowing your shopping patterns. So for instances, another thing that I think you should buy or not buy is a trench coat. Now, Here's my 2 cents, and I don't think this will apply to everyone. The past 2 months I've been researching trench coats. I saw photos of beautiful colored ones, and I thought maybe this is my version of a trench coat. Maybe I just want a mint trench coat. But honestly, when I think about outfits and me in that type of jacket, I don't love it that much. I think I love thicker coats when they're longer, and I think they're so cool. I think they're definitely like a staple item, but I think we've all convinced ourselves that there are items we need to have in our closets, like trench coats, like loafers, cowboy boots, even leather jackets. But maybe a lot of people have leather jackets just because they're like staple basics. I just want to say for all those who don't have a trench coat yet, that have survived years of your lives without trench coats and think they need one, ask yourself, do you actually need it for your lifestyle? Do you actually miss it when you're getting dressed? Or is it just like a checklist piece to have in your closet? Next thing was actually suggested by my content assistant. It's a little controversial, maybe. She said, don't buy balloon pants, DIY them instead. Now, I love my little black jeans barrel balloony model, and they have definitely become my staple black jeans. I don't regret buying them at all. I bought them last year secondhand. But I do understand what she's saying with a lot of like lighter material balloon pants where is it worth it? What she says is tie a shoelace or a hair tie or even a necklace around your ankles and make your pants that are a little longer balloon. And boom, you have a variation of that. I think that was kind of cool. I actually have 2 pairs of linen pants that I have put hair ties close to my knees. And then like I bring them up and I tuck them in. I don't really know how to explain it. And I turn them into capri pants. I think this is so fun. There's so many ways we can change the silhouette of a pant without like permanently changing it. So inserting that idea into your brain. Next up, I'm gonna tell you to buy curly furry coats and not straight hair furry coats. Please consider buying secondhand. There are so many fur coats secondhand. I don't think it makes sense to be buying fur coats firsthand in this century, not even if it's fake fur. There's so many options and it's so easy to find. But I've been loving the longer hair fur coats. I think they're so much more elegant and have like an elevated pop. And then when it comes to colors, I would say buy the ones that are not just one color and that kind of have the gradient of the shades of the fur. Again, I think it's very easy to want a fur coat and then see one we like and buy it and not think about all the options that we're neglecting when buying that one. And I don't want to make you like super paranoid when you're buying something that you're like neglecting a bunch of other options that you could have had, and then it's like the dating apps where you have a bunch of options and so you never think that one is good enough. But I will say, when buying these things, just take a look at all the options and make sure you're making informed decisions, because I just want our closets to feel like, oh, that is Maya's piece, that is Maya's thing. So yeah, be pickier with your fur coats. Next up is stripes, and I've been very much into stripes. I only own one stripe thing, but I feel like I was very picky with it, and now I know what I like and what I don't. Don't buy the stripes that are very spaced out of each other. I like when the stripes, let's say it's black and white, the black and white are the same exact width. This is so specific. I also like when the color is one color only, and when it's like black and white, I tend to like it better when it's black. And then again, you look into all these shirts and you think they're the same, especially if you're buying them secondhand and you don't see a photo of them on, but they're so different. So I would say be careful about the sleeves. Make sure if you want them puffy or straight, that you're getting what you like. Make sure that if you want them to be fitted, they have that little like waist curve, and if you want them to be straight, they're straight. If you want them to be baggy, make sure they're wide enough. I really don't like when the stripes like curve in this area. And yeah, that's all I gotta say on that. Buy equally striped, straight striped shirts. Now, we couldn't talk about fur coats and trench coats without talking about leather jackets. I think a lot of times I was just picking the coat based on the color. So if I wanted a red one, I'd pick a red one. If I wanted a brown, dark one, I would pick that. If you're buying a straight cut leather jacket with the color, you know those ones, buy it without pockets. I think it looks so much cuter. And make sure the sleeves are not puffed. Think about if you want that like shinier leather or not. I think it can look very nice sometimes if you're looking for a less masculine look and a more chic look. Think about the color you wanted, like all of the same color or a bit washed off. If you're buying it with like the triangle color, I don't know how to name it, a lot of them are like asymmetrical or like tie more to one side. Think about if you want that or if you want it in the center. I prefer it in the center. Belt, no belt. If you want a longer one, do you want it in like a blazer style or any more trenchy coat style? And when you do find your perfect leather jacket, buy it secondhand. Again, this is personal taste. When you're buying things with pleats, buy them with big pleats and not thin pleats. If you're buying jeans, buy them with a full color instead of washed off, like solid color jeans. If you're buying light wash jeans, buy them with a slight more saturation tone, like more bluey, instead of a boring grayish tone. If you're buying green items, I have taken a masterclass in green at this point. I love green, and these are my preferred shades of green right now. If you like the look of a layered item, Don't buy pre-styles. Don't buy a skirt with pants, like that comes as a skirt with pants. Don't buy double layer tops. Get the 2 tops. Get the 2 items. You probably even already have them on your closet and you're just not even thinking to layer it because it's not the same exact model that you saw was trendy. Make it 10% different. If you're getting loafers this season, get the squared, super squared point ones. Yes, they'll be way harder to find. I'm on the hunt. My loafers disintegrated and I definitely need a new pair because I love loafers. But it's just so cuter, and I feel like if you have that super accentuated toe, they're gonna make any outfit stand out so much more. Because that's the thing, when you have statement pieces that you take longer to shop for, they're gonna make such a big difference in your outfit, and sometimes you don't even need to accessorize because the silhouettes themselves are the accessories. If you're getting loungewear pants, I'm in this phase of like trying to get cute loungewear because I work from home and I get lazy a lot of times to get ready. So I want to get cute pieces that I actually feel like I want to wear at home. I would say don't buy knit pants because I have a pair, and then when you're sitting down, the shape of the knees will like stick in the pants, and then you stand up and there's like the knee thing. Buy cotton ones. If you're buying sweatshirts, don't buy them without the hoodie and the pocket. That's my biggest pet peeve since I was 12 years old. I don't like sweatshirts that don't have hoodies and pockets. If you're buying white pants, commit to the whiteness. Don't buy half of what you wanted just because you're a little scared that you're going too overboard. If you like something, commit to it. Same with color. Again, I told you I have been in this thing to find a trench coat and I was going to buy a blue one, and then I saw all these options that were not the exact same blue I wanted. Commit to colors. If you're looking for a certain color, don't get the pastel version of it. Don't get the darker version of it. Wait till the perfect color appears. If you want layering pieces that are a bit transparent, try getting large knitted shirts instead of the polyester ones. They get sweaty in literally 0.5 seconds, are so annoying and itchy, and these ones just look so much better. I feel like I used to be so scared of saying my opinions and then like getting eaten in the comments, but I like to know people's opinions when I watch their videos. I like to know what they like because if I disagree, at least now I know what not to look for. And if I agree, I also know what not to look for. So I'm being a little more spicy in this video, but it's not because I think like you're not hurting anyone by liking a cardigan with a puff sleeve. It's just figure out what you like. And that is all I have for today. I love you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.